Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're going to look at a concept that could literally change everything about how we fly. Not just here on Earth, but out to the stars. It's a vision that takes the biggest headaches in aviation and space exploration and smashes them together to create one incredible solution. Let's just kick things off with a huge question. What if an airplane could live forever? Now I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But this question, it gets right to the heart of a truly massive challenge in modern aviation.
Okay, so before we can really dig into the solution, we've got to understand the problem. And it's a doozy. It's a challenge that exists in two completely different worlds. But as you're about to see, the core issue, it's exactly the same.
Let's start right here on Earth. The cost of just keeping a plane in the air is, well, it's absolutely staggering. I mean, for a modern jet, say a Boeing 737, the maintenance over its lifespan can actually equal 100% of its original price tag. Think about that. That's a massive, massive economic and resource drain. And this slide, it just lays it out perfectly. It really is two sides of the same coin. On the left, you've got the Earth problem. We're talking insane costs, these gigantic warehouses just stuffed with spare parts, and planes that just don't last forever. Then you flip it over, and you've got the Mars problem, a totally hostile environment. Literally zero spare parts available, no repair crews. I mean, survival there is all about total, complete autonomy. So, what if the answer to both of these huge problems was actually the same thing? And that brings us to the absolute heart of this explainer. The Aero-Mírdan Test. This is the big idea right here. It's actually inspired by robotics tests that were designed for that crazy, hostile environment on Mars, but it's being applied to aviation. And the key word here, you got to remember this, is evolving. We're not just talking about some automated repair bot. No. We are talking about an aircraft that actually gets stronger, better, and more efficient with every single challenge it overcomes.
So you're probably wondering, how in the world does an aircraft actually evolve? Well, the process is this incredible mix of AI, cutting-edge robotics, and some really advanced material science.
All right, let's walk through this step by step, because this is where it gets really cool. Just imagine, you're mid-flight, and a tiny, tiny crack, a microfissure, starts to form in the wing. So first thing, AI-powered robots that live inside the structure, they spot it immediately. But here's the thing, they don't just plan a simple patch-up job. Nope. They design a brand new, superior part right on the spot. Then the system just carries out the repair. It takes apart that small, damaged section, all without even affecting the flight. And finally, and this is the absolute genius of it, it takes that old, broken material, shreds it, recycles it, and then fuses it with brand new, super strong stuff like carbon nanotubes to 3D print a component that's actually better than the original. How incredible is that? And this whole process, it just kicks off this amazing chain reaction of benefits. The aircraft doesn't just fix itself, it improves itself. The system can start creating these new biomimetic patterns on the wings, which can cut fuel use by as much as 15%. And with maintenance costs basically vanishing and no more need for those giant parts warehouses, the entire fleet becomes, for all practical purposes, immortal. And that, of course, makes travel way more affordable and sustainable for everyone. Okay, the technical details are just mind-blowing, I get it. But what does this really mean for us, for humanity? To get a real sense of the impact, let's jump into a story. A little glimpse into a future that might not be so far away. All right, picture this. It's the year 2045. The very first wave of pioneers. They're on their way to set up a real, permanent colony on Mars. They're aboard a ship called the Aurora-1. This is it. The dawn of a whole new era for humanity. But then, halfway there, disaster. A massive, totally unexpected solar storm just slams into the ship. It creates thousands of these tiny microcracks all over the hull. Now, on any normal spacecraft, this would be it. Mission over. A complete life-threatening catastrophe. But the Aurora-1 isn't a normal ship. There are no flashing red lights, no panic alarms going off. Instead, something else happens. Silently, deep inside the ship's hull, this invisible swarm of Aero-Mírdan robots. It just wakes up and gets to work. And then, this is what the passengers hear from the captain over the intercom. It's not a call to brace for impact, it's a message of triumph. The ship didn't just heal itself, it used that crisis to become stronger, to adapt its own structure to survive the brutal environment of deep space.
Okay, so let's pull back from that one incredible flight and look at the bigger picture, the impact on all of us. Because a technology like this, it doesn't just change how we build things. It completely redefines what's even possible for our civilization. I mean, the implications here are just huge. We're not just talking about cheaper plane tickets or safer trips to Mars. We're talking about making air and space travel truly accessible to everyone. We're talking about immortal fleets of ships that can explore our entire solar system. And it's about building this whole new kind of partnership between us and our machines, where they become these autonomous partners helping us solve our biggest challenges.
So, the big takeaway here is this. The Aero-Mírdan Test isn't just about cool tech. It points to a future where our technology isn't just a simple tool, but a living, evolving partner. A future where the sky really isn't the limit anymore. It's just the starting line. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. If our machines can learn to evolve, what's next for us? Thanks for joining this explainer.